Hello, and welcome to the next episode of The Loop, the Moebius Adventures podcast. We're still going strong with our Tattered Magics playtest sessions, and my name is Brian Fitzpatrick. I'm the referee or GM and the writer from a lot of the Moebius Adventure stuff. Um, Wanted to introduce this particular episode as a special episode. It's the last episode for one of our players, Dan, who's been playing John Calvin, the old cantankerous priest who's been struggling with a few demons. There's a lot more story to tell, but we've had to say goodbye to Dan. He's joining a new journey for his career, and unfortunately, his schedule isn't going to work out for joining us on future games for at least the next few months. So we're saying goodbye to John in this episode. So it's a little emotional at the end. It's stressful, and we love Dan. So um, he is welcome to come back to our table anytime he wants, and we'll definitely miss him. And in the next episode, we have a new player joining us, so that should be fun too. But we will definitely miss Dan, and we wish him well on his new work journey. As always, if you're interested in any of the games that we talk about, you can find us at moebiusadventures.com. That's Moebius adventures.com. There you will find all of our links to social media, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, the rest of it. And we would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions on the podcast, if you go to the anchor.fm page for this podcast, you can leave us a message there, or feel free to drop us a note on any of our social media. We'd love to hear from you, and if you have questions, we'll try and get them answered. So that'd be a great section to add in a future podcast or video. This is another episode where we recorded everything via Skype, so we have video for the whole team playing this session for a couple of hours. And again, it is a little noisy in spots, so bear with us. Everybody being at home, there's no way to avoid various cracks, crackles, people coming in and out, all that good stuff. So it is a little better in this one, but we did have some uh, little blips in the recording, so bear with us. But we did have fun, and it was definitely a tense game, especially towards the end. So I will be very curious to see how things go forward from here. So again, thanks for tuning into the loop and hanging in with Moebius Adventures and this wonderful group of players that we have. And hang on while we say goodbye to Dan at the end. So thanks all, and thank you for listening. Until next time, thanks for staying in the loop. So we have started recording. Welcome to the next episode of Tattered Magics. Um, so who wants to do the lovely summary this time? Do we want to default to poor Shannon, who always does the summaries?
She's the best.
I would tell KB to do a summary, but her summary would be very different than everybody else's.
I'm down to do it.
Do it.
Okay, right. Last time on Tattered Magics, chapter 12? Episode 12? Okay. So we managed to meet Kitty Baloo, who is friends with the Circle of Clarity. We don't yet know if she's actually part of it. She accused Jacob of stealing her rocks, and Jacob made multiple attempts to try and sneak out undetected. And
you were terrible, awful. You ran into walls everywhere. You ran into tables. You spilled shit everywhere. It was glorious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We learned briefly about the crone, the maid, and the matron. Brooke managed to see a couple of 9 ghosts that kind of hung out around Kitty. They seemed to be protecting her or keeping an eye on her. John tried to create a spell to try and detect these ghosts, but it kind of like got blocked before that could happen. She left her cup behind, Kitty Blue did, and Ryder borrowed it. And we all went shopping for Jacob because we couldn't find his clothes in the alleyway because we all assumed that he transformed into an animal to hide, but his clothes were gone. So we all bought him stuff. We found out that Ed from Walmart is injured. We caught up with Reggie. He says that he knows of Kitty Baloo. And he said that we got to be careful around them and careful what we say. We learned that Dan, who runs the Ye Olde Geyser bar, he has quite a stockpile of guns and ammunition. And we found out that the bar is actually kind of a neutral territory, like there's no magic that can be cast there. So we checked that out. Brooke bought a 24-year-old Scotch bottle and then gave most of it to the stranger at the bar, who seemed to have really pointy ears that not everybody noticed. I returned the mug because, like I said, I was only borrowing it. And we left off with Diana staying at the bar with the walkie, and the rest of us went to the Bloody Pie. That's pretty much what I got.
That covers what I remember.
Okay.
Same.
Did that all come through okay? I think I heard some, like, feedback on my end, so I just want to make sure it went out okay.
Yeah, there's been some weird audio stuff. It's okay. It's not just you.
Hold on. I tried.
You did fine. All is good. So, all right. So, Jacob, you left the Bloody Pie.
Yep.
Where did you go to after you transformed in a hurry and fled the scene?
I'm trying to remember. I think I brought my backpack with me, right?
I believe you transformed in a hurry and fled because you were worried someone.
It was at the pie, right? It was at the Bloody Pie in the alleyway.
It was at the Bloody Pie, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would probably fly away, but still be like in line of sight. So like try to find something higher up above it so I could just keep an eye on things without being there.
Okay. So you watched the old witch on the way out pick up your clothes and take them with her. So that explains the mystery of the disappearing clothes. The rest of the group went from the Bloody Pie over to Walmart, and then they went to the bar.
Oh, that's right, because we were buying Jacob some clothes. I was buying Jacob some clothes.
There's a list.
Right.
Yeah. And then you went from the bar, leaving Victoria behind to man that seat, or woman that seat in that case. You headed back out to go back to the Bloody Pie for lunch, maybe? Where you left it. So you were able to follow people all over Plunkett. Where would you like to plunk yourself down?
I mean, I'm trying to remember the layout of the town from a vantage point to see the Bloody Pie. How far out can I see? Like, would I be able to see the bar from there?
Oh yeah, you can see the bar.
Okay.
It's just down the road.
Yeah, because I mean, I imagine I would get the assumption that they're going to Walmart, and I have what is a raven gonna do in Walmart? So I have no intention there. I mean, yeah, I'm probably just gonna kind of hang out and watch, maybe fly a little bit closer to the bar when they go in there.
Okay. So you watch as John makes a coin light up when they go into the bar, and then you watch him go into the bar and then come out of the bar and go back into the bar. And when he came out of the bar, his lit coin was no longer lit.
Okay.
It was shiny, so you would have noticed.
Yeah, would that be something shiny enough that I might like try to swoop for, or?
He was not in the. He was like in and out of the door really, really quickly, so you wouldn't have had time.
Yeah. No, I'll probably just make
Quickly for
personal.
John, but still not enough time for you to.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would just kind of observe. It's just the party that's at the bar, right? You said there's some lady, I don't remember her name.
The party at the bar. There was. God, that's awful. I'm hearing all sorts of feedback. I'm just going to unplug. So.
Okay.
Right here.
Hey, Brian.
Doesn't
We're
really
not
help.
hearing feedback, so it's definitely at your end.
Okay, good. I'm glad. So you're talking about the other people who were at the bar, or you're waiting for
Yeah, just like what I observed from that vantage point.
Oh. So in the 2 hours that maybe you're going to be there, you only spot you don't spot anybody else going in and out.
Okay.
Just your group.
Is there anything interesting going on outside of that area? Any like little ladies wandering in that region that looks suspicious?
With suspiciousness. Roll for awareness. Roll for awareness.
Okay. Yep, got it.
Okay, so you do see one really suspicious looking guy who's just sitting dejected on the sidewalk outside the bar.
What is he doing?
Looks like he's smoking a cigarette. Just
What?
smoking a cigarette.
Okay. Cool. Do I get any weird vibes from him?
You would have to land on his shoulder to get weird vibes.
Okay,
You just
yeah,
think
so I'll just continue to observe.
Okay. Well, he looks at the door of the bar a lot, and then he just shakes his head. And after about 30 minutes of doing that, he finishes his couple of cigarettes and then walks off.
Okay. What
What are the
direction?
rest of you guys doing? What are you guys doing at the Bloody Pie?
Eating
Eating
pie.
pie. Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're just having a lovely meal there?
If I could maybe just keep an eye on Athena, like if she's giving me any weird looks, because I don't know if she knew that I was the one who borrowed Kitty's mug or not. So if I could just kind of keep an eye on her.
Roll an awareness check.
Yes, the 7.
Beautiful. All seems normal.
Okay. I think we're good, you guys.
Woot woot.
We're good. Why would we not be good?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying we're good. We should formulate an exact plan, like Alvin was saying. We need to know what we're getting into when we go into this bar. What exactly are we gonna tell these witches?
Well, what do you all hope to get from them?
Oh, way to defeat the vampires?
All right. And what are you willing to trade for that?
Jokes. I don't know.
All right. A 10 out of 10 for style, but minus several billion for logical thought there.
I mean, that's like our whole mission, right? Is to clear the city of vampires right now. And to, they might have some ideas about how to get people out of this whole coma thing too. They might know where everybody's like soul is or how to get those back. I don't know. I guess I just want to get information.
Fair enough.
But that's just me.
And Alvin, what are you hoping to get out of a conversation with a bunch of witches?
I think we need to. It's everything that Ryder said, but I think we need to be in alignment. That before we commit to giving them anything, we have to make that decision as a group.
We have to what?
Make that decision as a group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, what if the witches ask for, like, one of us to, like, join them or something? I don't want to be
Or
volunteered to be a
do
witch.
their dirty laundry.
Ew. Well, yeah,
Right?
I'd only do Jacob's laundry. Yeah. I don't want to do anybody else's.
I gotta be honest, laundry is not one of those things that witches typically need people for.
Do you know a lot of witches, John?
Well, I mean, I've done some research, I've done some reading, and typically they'll ask for service for a year and a day, a decade and a day, a life and a day.
So, do we go up to them and say, here is the information that we want. What do we have to do to get it? And then they'll present their payment idea. And then if we don't agree, we can just leave. And, like, we just say, no deal, and storm back out? Like, is that the plan?
Storming out, stomping our feet. I think that'll be highly effective.
Throwing a damn temper tantrum.
I'm pretty good at those. I could do one of those.
John is wearing his shocked face.
It's a thought.
What are we willing to trade?
Maybe they don't want to trade. Maybe they just want us to do the dirty work of getting rid of the vampires and saving the townspeople. Like, that's the trade. Like, they tell us what to do because they don't want to do it.
Then what do we want from them?
The answers on how to do it. That's all I want from them. What do you want from them, John?
Knowledge, information, access to how they. I'd love to study how they work. I'd love to. Alvin, I understand that you and I may be on opposite sides of this, and I don't want to step on your toes, but I would love to find out how their magic works. I'd love to see how that works and how they do, because if I understand correctly, the three of them work together, and they're able to do cooperative magic. Now, the only thing that we've been able to do is somebody draws something and somebody else charges it and somebody else puts the symbology on it. Like, we can't do what they do. And wouldn't that be amazing if we could figure out how to use that power together?
But
to be able to... I'm sorry, go ahead. I did not mean to interrupt.
No, you finish your tangent. I'm sorry.
Tangent?
Go for it.
Can I fly down and peck at the window at this time? Yes.
Jacob!
That's what I would like to do.
Actually, can I just assume that I noticed that, please? Great, thank you.
Yeah, there'll be flapping and pecking.
John he's on a roll and he's excited and oh, it's Jacob. Hey, everybody give me your damn things and I'll take the bags outside and give Jacob his new clothes in the alley behind
Can everybody remember what their new clothes were from last week?
What if
Cowboy
I didn't give
boots.
him clothes?
Yeah, I dropped mine in the chat so you can see it. Oh, can you see it, KB?
Oh, please.
Actually, there's a couple people dropped theirs in the chat. Looks like some fancy overalls.
Fancy overalls.
I did cowboy boots.
I did rock hair.
What have you done to me?
Yeah.
I did bandanas because bandanas could be worn both in human form and doggo form. So
Nice.
Oh, Lord. There we
That
go.
is really true.
So you have overalls and 2 pairs of shoes and some bandanas.
I think
So-
I'm more than that, right? Brooke got like a
Do
ton
I
of
have
stuff.
a shirt?
Shannon, what did Shannon get you?
I got him a little puppy backpack that says I hurt my friends on it.
Oh,
So the answer is no.
It's
You
so
don't have a
cute.
shirt. You just have a pair. You don't even have any underwear. You just have a overalls and boots with no socks.
No, I thought we said that we could put some socks and boots in there, or socks and undies in there. I thought we did say that.
Brooke said
it's,
that
it's not in the chat.
I thought Brooke said she got him a bunch of clothes, but it was all like contemporary or fashionable. Nothing that he's going to enjoy. Right?
That
Brooke?
that is true. I guess I did say that.
Yeah. So
That does
there's-
sound like
Because
that.
everybody needs fashion,
yeah.
Jacob.
I
So
imagine
you
there's bags and bags of stuff, and hardly any of it will he enjoy.
So probably some leopard skin thong underwear and shiny satin.
Am I Joe Exotic? Why is this happening to me?
Shiny. Shiny tank top with probably some bling on it. I don't know. I don't know what she got you. What all did you get? And I'm just pulling these things out, going, "What in the name of God did you?"
So, yeah. You brought the bags outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jacob's probably going to sort through in proper bird fashion, throwing things to the side. So, yeah, because I haven't decided to transform out of it yet. So I got overalls, 2 pairs of shoes, bandanas, and an assortment of ridiculously fashionable items.
And a bag for a doggo.
And a backpack, yeah.
Yeah. A doggo backpack that you have
Yeah.
to like put over your dog back. Yeah.
Is my backpack still where I left it?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, the bag is there? I thought the bag was stolen. All right, good.
No, just the clothes. He didn't stuff the clothes into the bag, so the clothes that you left behind
Yeah.
disappeared.
Because like the backpack's like hidden, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna try to make a transformation out of this after I birdie hop one of the bags over to my corner.
Okay.
So it's a single dice against a 12, right? Or is
Yes.
it disadvantage?
It is not at a disadvantage. You're doing this unrushed. You might be stressed, but you're not like under duress. You're not damaged and you're not stressed. So yeah, it should just be 12.
Okay. Ha, yes, I got a 5.
Yay.
So I transform back out of it and sigh heavily as I pull together an outfit pairing some sort of flashy undershirt, my overalls. I'm just gonna tie the bandana around my chin region in proper bandit fashion because it's here. And I will put on one of my pairs of shoes.
Which pair of shoes?
What are the 2 pairs? What are they?
Work boots and shit kickers, I believe, were the 2 options that you had.
We'll go with some shit kickers. That sounds like a good time.
You are in
At least
you are in
getting to shoot
Montana.
the dog.
There's a lot of
I
cow.
am.
Wyoming, unless Montana and Plunkett has moved overnight.
Oh yeah, Wyoming. You moved. Yeah. Not. Time and space are still intact.
That's good.
All right, so you have transformed back into the Jacob everyone knows and loves in new couture.
Fantastic.
So
So I'm going to take the rest of the stupid fashion clothes, put them into my lovely new backpack, and walk into the bloody pie slightly agitated. I would like
oh,
to
Slightly
off
do
the bat.
Athena, Athena from behind the counter goes, new duds.
I will shoot her a death glare, a gentle one, and then turn to the table, chuck the backpack at them. Like, I mean this in the most polite way possible. What the fuck? Where am I going? Why does this happen?
So there was a witch, and she ran off with your clothes, and we should probably, hey, you know what, we were talking about what we want from them. Step one is we want every item of clothing that Jacob had, and all of the let's see, detritus that he may have carried with him, to be returned to us. No, every single hair, every single piece of skin, everything. We would also like to request from them an oath that they will attack none of us, for regardless of the reason.
So we're trusting witches? That's what we're doing?
Sorry, beg your pardon. We're meeting some witches in about, I don't know, an hour, and
Well,
so this is our
we're
pregame.
trusting them. We're not.
trusting?
We don't think that they have any ill intent. No, not one of you.
I think that's what we're trying to figure out. Am I wrong there, Ryder? Alvin?
I don't think they have a reason to be mad at us.
No, I don't think they have to be mad. I think John's on the right track. We don't trust witches.
Yes.
But we trust them more than vampires.
Do we though?
I'm not trying to make a deal with the vampire yet, but I might give him the benefit of the doubt. I think we need.
Sorry, I don't know what Brian's pants might be over there.
I was just trying to figure out the hierarchy of trust there. Are they in the circle? Are they out of the circle? The circle of trust is very important.
At this point, I want to trust the witches more than the vampires because the witches were able to seal up the vampire last time. And we've already had bad dealings with the vampires. So, they're murdering a whole bunch of people. I haven't seen any witches do that yet. But I mean, that's just my experience on it.
That's true. Alvin has a different experience with witches.
I mean, I seem to recall that there was something done on this side of a portal to bring the Fae here, right? Am I mistaken on that?
Yeah, but we don't know who did that. We could ask them that.
It's possible.
Sure, let's ask them.
It's possible.
Did you do this?
Yeah, I mean, the direct approach is always great with people who are like, I don't know, prone to deception or casting spells. But what do I know?
Yeah,
So,
brevity is the soul of it. Let's get it out.
Fun fact, there seems to be no magic that works inside the Ye Olde Bloody
Geyser
beer joint. The bar.
Geyser.
I can't remember the name of the bar.
Geyser.
Ye Olde Geyser.
Ye Olde Geyser. I thought you all were just making fun of me. All right. And
Ye Olde Geyser.
Ye Olde Geyser.
oh, that's right. That's right.
Hey,
It's all
the old guy
pronunciation. Uh-huh. Mm.
Okay, I'm focused.
Athena stops by and says, anybody need a refresher? I have water, tea, coffee, hot chocolate for you, Ryder.
Well, could I just get a water? Because the bar didn't give me any water.
Of course, dear.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I don't
Out of a bowl like a cat? Is that what you just did?
I don't know. She might have given me a water chop. I don't know.
Okay.
Now I have to bring in cat people just to throw everything off. It'll be cats all over again.
Could I have some more coffee, Miss Athena? Thank you.
I would also like a coffee. And to get back to the subject of why we're trusting witches.
Hey, did you ask Athena about Kitty Blue? I can't remember.
No, nobody talked to Athena.
Hey, John, maybe you should ask. Athena likes John, right?
Athena likes all of you. None of you have pissed Athena off.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Except for you. She just hates you on GP.
Maybe we should ask Athena what she knows about Kitty. Or what she thinks about Kitty.
You should ask her, Alvin, and ask her why she gets a special mug in the mornings. You should go ask her, though. Not me. I don't think that's a good idea.
Do I still see the old dishwasher?
Yeah, they're working back there.
What you thinking, Brooke?
Oh, nothing. I was staring off into. There's not a person in where I'm looking behind the counter at all. So.
Can
if you guys knew that I could actively see ghosts, I would suggest maybe that has something to do with the fancy mug.
What?
That magic mug thing. You returned that, didn't you?
Yes, I totally did. I left it on the counter and it's not there anymore, so she must have picked it up. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, but we never did really find out what that was, other than it was kind of spooky.
It was spooky. There were markings on it.
Yeah.
So it's something witchy, but I gave it back.
I think you guys took pictures of it too.
No, I was out of film.
Oh no, I think on your cell phone somebody took pictures. Maybe not.
Yeah, because we know what one of the symbols looks like.
Yeah.
You know, there's a Driscoll or two on it.
Yeah, we saw the patterns. Could I radio into Diana, and let her know that Jacob's here with us now. He's back in people form. And how are you? How are your beers? Over.
Super good, and I'm really surprised that nobody drank these because holy, so good.
Diana, guys.
Hmm?
That's great. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. What's going on over there? Over.
There's beer. That's good. That's pretty great.
So the
table's pretty empty.
The pointy-eared guy has shared multiple glasses of the whiskey that Brooke bought with the other figure and the short guy that wandered in.
At some point, I do want to talk to the pointy-eared guy, just to apologize for companions' rude behavior. Shouldn't stare. I mean, I know how it is. You get stares from people, especially with all these tattoos. So yeah, I would probably stand him a drink if I can, and just be have that, and maybe get the chit chatting with him.
Okay, so he accepts whatever drink you put in front of him, and speaks to you in a language that is known to many as Scottish and the rest of the world as gibberish. So it is tough to translate exactly what it is he's saying, but he seems appreciative for the alcohol.
I think that's a universal language, and I'm just gonna, raise my glass every time he says something, and just be yeah.
Shut it out of you!
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And he just nods and goes back to drinking his beer or his whiskey or whatever else is put in front of him.
Fantastic.
Okay. So what time are you guys meeting them? Where it was like 1?
2 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are there any other questions you guys want to ask the witches or discuss to ask the witches before you guys head back there?
And did somebody ask Athena about Kitty Baloo?
No, everybody talked about asking, and then nobody actually went and asked. So,
Athena,
Isn't she coming
Athena,
back with
I-
my coffee?
yes, dear.
I'm so sorry. Hey, Alvin had a couple questions he wanted to ask you.
Did you, Alvin?
Absolutely, I did. Yeah. Hey, Athena, we were in here earlier and we were talking with Miss Kitty Baloo. It's a regular, maybe even a friend of yours. What can you tell us about her? Because we're about to go have a meeting with her and some of her friends.
Well, they're a nice group. They drink a lot of coffee. They eat a lot of pie. They prefer apple pie and their coffee black.
You know, I noticed she had a really cool mug that looks like you kept for her here. Is that like something we can all do? We can get our own mugs here, or what's up with that?
Well, if you stay in town for, let's see, I think Kitty's been here probably 30 years or so. So it's been a while. She earned a place in the mug collection that I keep back here.
You have a whole collection of mugs. That's awesome. Could I see them?
Yeah. Just poke your head around the table, around the counter. Down underneath the counter, she's got this alphabetized bunch of square boxes that are just filled with mugs of a variety. And they're not labeled at all. They're just in boxes labeled A, B, C, all the way to Z.
Do any of them have the symbols similar to what Kitty's had?
You would have to pick them out of the boxes and then look at them. So it's tough to tell while they're in the boxes.
Okay, I'm not going to go through that trouble.
You could do an awareness check and see if you get a vibe from any of them.
I would like to do an awareness check because I am observant. Does that help?
You are at an advantage, yeah.
Yes.
And you craft items, so you'd be at an advantage anyway.
Big bucks. Stop. 9. I make it.
Oh, it's a German no. Okay. Yes, several of them actually kind of give you the heebie-jeebies.
Interesting. Okay. All right, I go back and share that information with the group. Hey guys, I think there are multiple, I don't know, magical mugs back there.
Magical mugs how?
I don't know. Just similar to Kitty Baloo's. We got like a filling, right? A heebie-jeebie filling from hers too.
There was, and I saw markings on it. Yeah, and there were symbols on Kitty's mug too, like runes. Maybe I should just go ask her.
I think we should just go meet the witches.
I'm not sure who sent that one, but thank you.
That was really funny.
Maybe we should go meet the witches. That's how it sounded on my end. Sorry.
I completely apologize. That was way louder than I intended it to be. Anyway.
It's all good. It's funny.
Could I go ask Athena if she has any extra apple pies to sell at the moment?
Yeah, always. I do. Yeah.
Listen to the skids. I like it.
Could I get the biggest apple pie you have?
Well, they're all the same size, but here you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
they all come in pie tins. So yeah.
They're all
Excuse me,
pretty.
John, what are you saying over there?
Nothing. I love this. I love this coffee. Like I love this coffee so much. I think it's just my favorite cup of coffee. I wouldn't mind if this were the last cup of coffee I ever had in my life.
Why would you say something like that?
Oh, jeez.
Foreshadowing.
Mm.
You drinking it? Are you drinking it black, John?
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah.
He's like his soul.
Uh-huh.
So are we all set? Are we all happy? Does everyone feel like they know what they want to achieve from this meeting?
Huh.
We want information as to how to defeat the vampires. We want to know how to get the souls back. We also want to know how they do their magic. What else do we need from these three?
Jacob's close.
Jacob's globes. That's a very important thing. Someone
Yeah,
taking notes.
You
I
see
feel
how
like
I
somebody should.
dress?
Yeah, I got notes.
Good.
Um,
And what are we willing to offer in trade?
jokes.
And the service of ridding the city of vampires.
Well, why don't we ask them what they want in return, and then if it's too ridiculous what they want, we'll just say no and we'll leave.
Right. That's very simple with a coven. You could just say no and walk away. It's fine.
Yeah, is that how it works?
And you're striking a bargain, right? So there could be give and take. You never know.
Yeah.
What do we have to offer? Does anyone have anything?
Our services, Brooke's money.
Brooke's money.
My signature.
I could show them a picture of my dog.
You want to offer?
What we can do is we could we don't know, they may not have the ability to while they may have the ability to work together, they may not have the ability to create spiritual batteries like we have, and so we could offer them that service. We also have a way to for them to temporarily save some of their spells to paper and tattoos in case they decide that they need to take up tattooing, because that amused me idea right there. And so we could maybe help trade them with that information.
Hey, Alvin, what do witches typically like? What do they like to do with rituals and stuff? Like, they usually like people, right? So if it comes down to it, who are we offering?
John. I mean, it's a given, right?
I beg your pardon.
It's been my experience that witches like to sacrifice people. So
John, Alvin can do an education check and see if he can come up with a list of popular items for witches. I happen to have one right here. A 7? All right. So according to my very sketchy research, witches like doing circles of protection and talismans and petitioning the powers for things. They like divining and scrying and purifying things. Uh-huh. Nice. They're also a bunch of old ladies, so they might like John anyway, and as an offering.
I totally missed that. Do it again.
What? Do what again?
Nothing.
I
Okay.
beg your
That?
wow. Well, my work here is done. Okay.
I think we should go back to Walmart and get an Al Green CD.
there we go.
Mom,
That's the-
Bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
We should probably make sure that they got some Tupperwares for the rest of your family too while we're out of it.
Ouch. Harsh.
What?
I'm sorry, was that too far? I can never tell with you people.
It's probably your
You
eyesight.
people.
You people. What are you talking about?
My eyeshadow?
Huh?
It's probably my what?
Your eyesight, because you said you said something about not being able to see something about you people, and it's just like it's because your eyesight's so bad because you're old. Never mind. Let's move on. Okay.
So out of my extensive list that I was able to provide to you with my education, is there anything on this list we could possibly give them?
No, but they're always looking for information. So you have a fair amount of information that they may not, and vice versa.
Additionally, I do have a, I do have my my walk-in stick, and so that is a battery, a source of energy that they may not have, and so, for the right remuneration, we might be willing to trade that. I could offer that up.
We also have that.
Did I
candle, right?
say something, Ryder? Because I offered them my damn stick? Is that what you're laughing out?
No.
We're back to the Al Green CD, I think is
There
what
we
happened.
go.
My
Hey, Brian, before we go meet these witches, because I'm sure we're getting close, can you explain to me how my bracelet works again? You said that it can store 24 points of magic, and I can use up to 8 at a time. And
So, which means even if you're 10th level, you can only put 8 points into it. Think of it like a max level of points that you can put into it, just because of the way that it was created. If you are a 10th level mage, you can cast up to a 10-point spell. Because this item is fixed, and it was fixed by the amount of energy that was put into it when it was created, it can at maximum be used at 8 points at a time.
so what does it mean it can store 24 points? Is it
So
a
you can
battery?
use it like a battery.
Yeah, it's just like I'm not gonna say it.
Like
Just
my
like-
big
just
old
like John's
stick.
stick?
Just say like
Just
my
like
big
John's
old
stick.
stick, Robert.
Yeah.
You know you want to.
Yeah, like that thing. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But you who are what, 6th level?
I am 6th level.
You can only put 6 points into it at a time.
Yes, and each point equals. Oh darn it! Each point equals 1 point of AR and 6 AP.
1d6 of AP. It's random.
6. Oh, okay, that's a big difference. 1d6 AP. Got it. Okay. All right.
So if you put 6 points into it, it would be AR6, which is amazing, and it might give you a certain number of AP, which would be 6d6.
Right. Okay.
But it's magic, so it's unpredictable.
I think we're ready. We're ready to go negotiate.
I like it. All right. So you guys pay your bill with Athena. She's used to this black card by now. I think she just keeps a copy of it on file at the bloody pie. And you're walking out with your pie,
Yes.
Ryder? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Can somebody radio to Diana and ask her if anything's changed at the bar, like if it's okay for us to come back in? I can't because my hands are full with pie.
I would, but I gave her my radio. Give me the damn pie, woman.
Alvin
All
or
right.
Brooke, call her up.
How about this? I walk across the street to the door.
You
I
don't know.
open the door to the pie, to the Ye Olde Geyser, and I'm like, Diana, is it safe to come in?
Meanwhile, on my walkie-talkie, I reach out. Hey, Diana, is it safe for us to return? Over.
Whoa, stereo. There's like 4 empty beer glasses in front of me at this point. I've been waiting here for 2 hours. I'm pretty happy.
There's a lot of beer goggles at this point, yeah. So nothing has changed. The same 3 people are still at the bar. Dan is still behind the bar, and the witches have not arrived yet.
So that is
John!
that relayed to us.
Hi.
What was that, KB?
Is that something that like is made known to the party, to all of us, or? Yeah.
Is who known to the party?
Was that information shared? That the witches aren't there yet and everything's fine, like nothing's changed.
I believe since it was over Alvin's walkie-talkie, everybody could have heard it.
Okay.
Over.
Thank you, Alvin.
I lean over to Dick, but I say, hey, if it comes down to it, would you be willing to part with those bones?
You know what? That's fine. I'm just gonna like pull them out and like hand them over.
Really?
Really? All right.
Off to the side of the bar, right? And I want to transform back into a raven.
Wait,
You're going to transform into a raven before you go into the bar?
Yep.
Jacob, I don't think that's a good idea.
maybe a dire wolf would be better.
I mean, I'm
Okay.
also not asking anyone.
Okay, so you can stash your bag in the alley where you stashed it before, right underneath the stairs that go up to the Wyoming Supernatural Organization's head HQ, and you transform in. So go ahead and roll to transform.
All right.
Hey, Brooke, just between you and me, I think Jacob just likes being naked, right?
Yep. Don't worry, something's gonna happen. You'll be fine.
I'm sorry, what was that? I made my
Nothing.
roll, but what was that?
Nothing. Okay, so you're a bird. Congratulations.
Thank
Are you
Oh.
gonna fly in when they open the door?
Jacob's gonna eat your pie, Ryder. Keep it covered.
Is your goal to fly in when they open the door?
Nope.
Nope.
I would
You're
like
gonna-
to take a vantage point to where I can clearly see the main ways to get to the bar.
Okay, so last time in the last session, we decided that there is one door at the front,
Uh-huh.
and there is one door in the alley that is really securely locked. And those are the only doors that happen to go in and out of this bar. There are no windows.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'd like to just be as aware as I possibly can and try to get a view on the witches
Okay.
as they're approaching. Also, side note, the traits that we went over earlier, Brian, I have to, like, for the Raven one, we only had 3 different ones put in there. Is it safe
Yeah.
to assume I can utilize those?
Yes. Yeah, that's fine. And we don't know what the fourth one is because I couldn't come up with a fourth one when I
Yeah,
was
and
doing that earlier.
That's fine, because and that assess intent action. How is that through contact, or can I do that through line of sight?
Nope, it's line of sight.
I
Just
can
by
do that
watching.
through line of sight.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So we're just gonna hang out.
Okay. Is everybody else going in?
Yep.
I probably yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can hang
Yeah,
out. So you're going to hang out on top of the building, watching for the witches, and the rest of you are going to go inside. And you see Victoria looking very happy at the same corner where she was before.
Hi, Diana.
Well, hello.
You're looking very pretty.
This beer is great. Oh my gosh. So good.
Do you drink a
Is that
lot?
pie for me? I'm really hungry. I want that pie.
Oh, I should have gotten 2. I'm so sorry. This isn't for you. I'm sorry.
What?
Oh, how much time do we have?
Okay. Time for another beer.
It's it's probably 1:15 or 1:30, so you guys got there a little early. So
Okay, I'll be right back. You can go ahead and have this pie. You guys, I'll be right back. And I'll run back over to the bloody pie to get another pie.
Sweet. I got pie.
okay. Athena happens to have another apple pie ready.
Oh, I thought you were gonna roll for it, Brian.
No, I'm being nice because I'm not going to be nice later. So, and then the eyeballs pop out of everybody's heads. So you get another pie, pay for it, and run back in. And as you're coming back in, you are met at the door by somebody else who is also going in. And let's see, where is she? Where are you, my friend? God, I buried the lead. Okay.
It's about to go down.
You see this older Hispanic lady, maybe 5'5", wearing similar or what you would call old clothes, meaning from an era not modern. And she waits at the door, holding the door open for you.
Oh, thank you. So nice of you.
You're welcome, dear. You're welcome, dear. That's an odd thing to take to a bar.
Well, it's apple pie. Here it's the best.
Well, if it's from the bloody pie, it certainly is.
Yeah, it is. I recommend it. Are you coming in for a hot toddy before tea?
I'm definitely coming in for a drink. Yes.
Wonderful. I hope you have a good one.
Okay, so she follows you in.
Okay.
Everybody in the bar gets to roll an awareness check, except for Diana, who gets to roll an awareness check at a disadvantage.
Which leaves me 1 die because I'm observant.
Yeah.
I made it. 11 out of 12.
Made it with a 9.
Okay.
I also made it with a 4.
John or Dan? You might be muted, Dan.
It doesn't have a mic over his
No, it
thing.
doesn't. Wonder what happened.
Dan?
My headphones have a mute on them as well, so I muted myself there. So
Dan,
I was
John, are you
doubling
there?
to make
John,
sure that no
Dan?
one could ever hear me ever.
Dan. Dan, you might be
What?
on mute.
Yeah,
Are
thank
you
you so much,
Dan,
Robert.
we can't hear
Diana
you.
Fire. I mean, but yeah, a success, and I do have an action when there's a moment.
Okay.
Dino, can
So-
you hear me?
All right, so you are all aware that this older lady, Hispanic, maybe in her mid-50s, has wandered in, and she wanders right up to the bar. And Dan gives her a hug and then hands her a bottle. And she goes over to sit in another corner of the room.
She sits in another portion of the room.
Yep. And she's observing you guys.
She's watching us. All right.
So you didn't have an opportunity, KB, to do your thing because Shannon interrupted with the pie.
I'm sorry, what?
You did not get an opportunity to do your
Okay.
intent Do you want to ready that for the next witch who shows up?
Yep. That would be nice.
All right. Sorry. The pie threw us off. It was a pie fight. It was a pie fight. All right. So a pair of old ladies then approach the door. One of them is the old lady that accosted you at the bloody pie. One of them is an older black lady that you may or may not recognize from a few months ago, prior to the Fae. And they wander in, and they are greeted at the bar with big hugs from Dan, and each of them gets a slightly different drink.
Do I recognize the black lady?
I don't think you were the only one who hadn't met the black lady.
I didn't meet her outside of the murder scene? The house?
Oh, she might have been part of that. All three of them were there. So yeah, you would have at least recognized her shape, if not her hair, if nothing else. So
I mean, can I assess their intent as they're coming in?
Yes. You get two rolls.
What am I rolling against?
It's an awareness check.
It's
at an advantage.
An advantage. And that's my birdie awareness, right?
Birdie awareness.
Yep, I made it with a 12.
Okay, so do it for each of them. Roll it for each of them. Okay. 2 rolls.
I make it with a 3 and a 9.
Okay. Hey, Vikki, I'm going to mute you. Is that okay? All right. I muted her. All right. Okay. All right. So.
Yeah, and then a pair of 2s. So yeah, I make it for all 3.
Okay. So the intent that you feel from all 3 is that they are on a mission. They are focused and in sync with one another. And you believe that they don't mean ill intent, but they may not mean the best intent either. So I think they're mostly neutral, except for the old lady who is coming in a bit more angry than the other 2. The old black lady.
Yeah. Okay, and you said there's no windows on the front of the bar or anything? It's just a door?
Yep.
Is there like a window in the door?
There's no windows. There's no way to look in from outside.
If I fly into there, I'm going just spooky naked as I come through, right? Like, I just go.
That is a possibility, yes.
They have my clothes? Can I tell if they had my clothes with them?
One of them did have a shopping sack with her, as well as her regular purse that could be used in hand-to-hand combat.
So, but I don't know that. I can't tell for sure that that's my clothing.
You can't smell it, so you can't tell that it's yours.
Okay.
And you're also stuck. So you have to wait. You have to wait for somebody to open the door now.
Yeah, I'm also debating on whether or not I just want to fly back, get into my wretched new clothing, and walk in. Yeah, so I'll hold action for right now. I'll stay as a bird and observe what I can from the outside.
All right. So the rest of you notice that the 3 old ladies gather at the one table, and then they rise as one and come towards your table and say, "Good afternoon."
And I will stand up, and if Alvin does not stand up, I'll kick his chair. One stands in the presence of women. Stand up.
Oh, and I'll stand up too.
Same, I guess.
Look at Jonathan. Sit down, fool.
Ladies,
Hi,
could you?
I'd stand, but my
It's
Head-
okay,
head on
Diana.
table.
You just eat the pie. It's okay.
no, it's good pie. It's so good.
So Kitty, because she was the one who talked to you guys before, says, you remember me, I'm Kitty. This is my friend Bess. And then this is Rachel.
Which one's which?
So Rachel is the taller, older lady, black, who is probably the oldest by far of the three of them.
Okay.
Kitty is kind of the middle of the road, maybe in her 60s, and then Rachel, the one Bess, who showed up first, is the youngest.
Bess is the old Hispanic lady.
Bess is the old
black.
Hispanic. Kitty is the old white lady, and Rachel is the old black lady.
Got it. Okay.
And I promise I'm not being discriminatory here. It's just the way that it shook out.
Please, ladies, join us if you would be so kind, and pull up chairs to make sure that they're not sitting next to each other.
Okay. Who are you going to set them next to? Oh, their seat.
Mm-hmm. Just make sure that they're not connected at all, right? Like just to make sure that there's somebody in between. There's 5 of us, so
Are they like holding hands?
no,
No?
I just hello. Hey, newsflash, John's paranoid. Hey, because I know that's news to all y'all. But yeah,
Being his last session tonight. What?
right? But no, I mean, he would never want them to sit next to each other under any circumstances. If you know that people do cooperative magic, what do? You don't let them sit next to each other, right?
So I'm going to ask this wedding planner, since you seem to be organizing the seating chart at this table. Can you give me an idea of who is sitting where and who you have sitting next to whom?
So we've got Diana, and then Bess, because she will be between, and then Ryder, because she will be most annoyed by the drunken one on one side and the exuberance of the other. Then we've got Brooke, because those two are inseparable. Then we've got Rachel.
Okay.
Me, Alvin. No, Rachel, me. Sorry. Rachel, Alvin. What's her name?
Kitty.
Kitty, me, and then so I should be sitting next to Diana on the other side. Although there's room for Jacob should he show up. Is that everybody?
Yes.
So I'm in between Rachel and Kitty.
You are. That's got to be a really comfortable spot for the guy
Yeah.
who was abducted by witches.
I'm not digging this.
John really loves you. I think that's what that boils down to.
You all asked. So
Okay. So Rachel. Okay, go ahead.
While I'm doing this, because I've been trying to, while we were in there, I was trying to, I wanted to touch, see if I could touch the light magic.
Okay.
And is there anything there?
You cannot feel it at all.
Okay. What about the presence?
You cannot feel that at all either.
How does
The
my
only
walking stick feel like?
The only thing you can feel is the whispers.
Okay. And so, really? I can feel that.
That's it. You
All
can't
right.
really feel them, but you hear them. Like,
Okay.
you know they're still there somehow.
Okay. And my walking stick is currently just a walking stick?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
So Rachel says, I'm going to let Kitty deal with this formalities because I don't like y'all.
What did we do?
Can I offer her the apple pie as a peace offering?
Huh. Okay.
I know we've had our differences, and I just want to start out by giving you this pie.
She snaps her fingers, and Dan brings over a fork and a knife.
Great, Ryder. Now you have a weapon.
So Dan's the bitch.
Uh-huh. Dan is the bitch. So Kitty says, so I want to start things off by saying that this is, we're coming in after information only. We would like your help dealing with Madame Foscari, and we would like to use this as an opportunity to exchange any information that you may have that we may need, or that we may have that you may need. So we would like to start things off by offering that we used to be stronger. We used to protect Plunkett. We were 13 strong. But the dwindling population of Plunkett and a lack of interest in the old ways have stymied recruitment. It's tough to find young witches these days. So we wish we could do this without you, but we realize in our failing health and our lessened strength that we need additional help. So we're starting with that.
Let's see. And does part of this aura of generosity and kindness include returning that which you stole?
We stole.
John, I stole anything.
Bess pulls out this little grocery sack and puts it on the table.
I will pick up the laundry sack and carry it over to the door and huck it outside.
Okay. Did you look at it before you hucked it outside, or?
No, I'm sure I know what it was.
Okay. So, Jacob, a bag flies out the door and lands in the street.
I would like to swoop down and get it.
Okay, it's heavier than you can carry as a raven.
Can I drag it or at least rifle through it in the street to see what it is?
Yeah, you can certainly rifle through it. I'm going to say it would take you too long to drag it anywhere. But it is all of your clothes, which have been carefully laundered and folded and ironed to the point where they look like they might as well have come immediately off the shelf.
I'm going to crow disapprovingly. And then I would like to, it's like the middle of the afternoon. How busy is the street?
It's average. There's some foot traffic.
How long would it take me to drag it to someplace inconspicuous?
A bird dragging a bag full of clothes is not inconspicuous under any circumstances. So I think you're going to have to either transform back into Jacob into the new clothes and then rescue your clothes, or something else. Because you may be able to take one piece of clothing out of the bag and drag it behind you towards your hiding place at a time.
Let me get my pants.
That's gonna be like it's gonna take you like 5 or 10 minutes for each piece of clothing.
I would just like to get my pants.
Your pants?
Just the pants.
Just the pants. Okay, so that'll take a few minutes. So we'll go back. So John, you're going back in to sit down?
Yep. I of course did not. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate that kindness.
He left in such a hurry, it seemed like the only kind thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Did you return all of the I don't know, detritus? Was that also included in that bag? All of I don't know, all of his I don't say hair, all of the pieces of skin, all of the things that
I don't know what kind of washing machine you may use, but none of our washing machines work that way. They don't return a collection of the dirt. They flush it away like every other modern appliance, you fool.
Yeah.
That's Rachel.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to make sure that none of you kept anything of Jacob's, anything that might connect you to him a little bit better.
We returned the clothes. It was a gesture of kindness. It was
And
not
I thank
to.
you for that.
That it is also a gesture of kindness with a unicorn on the screen. Okay. So, does that satisfy your requirements for the things to return that we didn't steal, we took and returned?
You didn't answer the question. Did you keep anything of his?
I believe I answered the question. Does your washing machine return anything to you?
John, I think you're bordering on being insulting to these ladies. Can we get on with the negotiation and the information?
Says the person is over these people.
I don't trust them, but I'm also not going to be rude to them.
Yeah, John, don't nag them. They did a very nice thing.
Even if it's not appreciated.
Huh?
Even if it's not appreciated.
I appreciate it. Jacob's not going to be as stinky now.
True.
I agree.
Sorry, Jacob.
So we have offered 2 overtures to you. What information can you give us in return? I have a list of questions, if that would help.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you really haven't told us anything. I guess in fairness, we'll tell you we are here to deal with the vampire problem. So we're definitely aligned on this goal. And we absolutely think it would be beneficial to share information between ourselves. So what do you have to share about vampires?
So you say that you are here to deal with the vampire problem. Are you skilled in doing such things? Have you done so before? What organization do you represent? If you don't mind my asking, we've been here for over 100 years guarding the town of Plunkett. We want your bona fides, sir.
How did that garden work out for you in October?
As we said, we have been of lesser strength. We have done the best we can. We saved who we could. It was not enough. We even lost one of our own.
I'm sorry.
So I ask again.
We're with the tattered.
Then it becomes clear. That explains the haphazardness of your mission.
Well, we're still in training, but we want to try our best.
Very well. So what do you want to know about the vampire problem? I can tell you how we got involved.
Can you tell us what the scar is?
So
Can you tell us how to kill it?
Yeah.
The madam moved into Plunkett in 1885. She fed on miners and their families.
Vampire. I see
And apparently she was fleeing Italy with what few riches she could collect on her way from New York. She originally wanted to get to California, but the gold rush in the Tetons drew her attention and she arrived in Plunkett instead. We believe she was born Concetta di Foscari and has been around since 1623. She is not to be trifled with.
So we understand that you may have successfully come up against Concetta and, well, successfully imprisoned her. Is that true? How did you do that?
We began battling against her in 1889, and in 1903, we thought we had her taken care of. We forced her to retreat, wounded deep inside the mines at Teton View Mining.
Do you think that's where she is now?
We have not seen her. We have seen evidence that there are vampires in town. We heard about the murders in town. And then you swooped in like bats from the mountains.
So I can tell you that we did have an encounter with what we believe were vampires in the hospital. We were able to successfully defeat them in battle. But I think the goal is we got to get after Concetta di Foscari. Would you agree?
Yes, but she always has lieutenants at her beck and call.
Do you know who those might be? Like some of her followers that we might be able to take out first?
I am guessing that you have already taken out some of the weaker members if they were active in the hospital. We have been protecting our sister
Harriet.
and the room that she is in with various protections on the doorway to that particular wing of the hospital. But we were unable to stay long enough, unobtrusively enough, to deal with the vampires themselves. Were there thralls involved?
Yes.
Many thralls?
Define mini.
Huh?
More than one? 2?
Yes.
5?
Yeah.
10?
No.
It was like two, wasn't it? 2 thralls, and then there was some.
I thought it was 3 thralls
Or
and
maybe 3. Yeah.
2 vampires.
What about ghouls? You encountered
There
any
was-
ghouls?
There were 2 of those as well in the basement of the hospital. We took care of those, and then my armor ate it.
Excuse me?
It's a long story. There were
Yep.
2 vampires, there were 2 ghouls, and there were about 5, 6 of the thralls that were there, and they were bleeding your people that you were protecting. They were bleeding them dry. And I am not sure that you are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face.
Wow. Are you always this rude?
It was not my intention to be rude. It was my intention to speak the truth. I thought that's what we wanted here.
We are protecting what we can.
He gets sidetracked sometimes. John, why don't you just sit down for a little bit? You know, have a drink.
All right. As you wish.
Okay, thank you.
Bess pipes up and says, Bartles and James are the best things ever. Mm.
Wine coolers.
There's a story here. I'm going to tell it through alcohol.
So it would seem that if Conchetta is back, she's building her forces. For what purpose?
Well, her original goal was to bleed the town dry and then move on.
What would keep her from moving on sooner?
Huh. Destroying her.
Okay, how do we do that?
You must fight your way through pants. Not plants.
I have plans.
You have plants. You have pants. You have plants. You have plants with pants. Fancy plants. All right, moving on. So you would
Hello,
have
Mr.
to
Fancy Play.
you would have to take her all of her minions out of the equation and then hound her until she is destroyed. We were unable to do that. She ran to ground and apparently found a hiding place and has slept there for 100 years.
So we could just blow up the mine, right?
That would slow her down. It may not kill her eventually.
Alright. Does she actually react to sunlight the way that they do in the movies? Is that real?
It's not only movies, it's also folklore.
Each vampire is a little different. I believe she is of an era where she believes she can't cross running water, that holy symbols or religious symbols that are held by the faithful may cause her to pause, that sort of thing.
Okay. But no sunlight. That's not a thing for her. In your
We never
experience.
saw her. We never saw her in sunlight. I believe in some of the tales that we have in the archives, we have seen notes about lieutenants being in the sunlight and being burned quickly, but not burned to death.
Okay.
Oh, that I were a god to shoot forth thunder upon these paltry, servile, abject drudges.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
No, I still have one more. Single dice or 2 dice?
What are you trying to do?
Nothing. Everything's cool.
This is 2. No,
Are you guys being sneaky?
this is 1. Because I don't think you've done this one before, have you?
Success.
Okay. So you cast, and we'll deal with that in a second. You are responded with the 3 ladies standing from their seats
There's no magic.
and reciting, "Ye lords of the watchtowers of the east, ye lords of air, I do summon, call, and stir you up to witness our rights, to guard the circle. Ye lords of the watchtowers of the south, ye lords of fire, ye lords of the watchtowers of the west, ye lords of water, ye lords of the watchtowers of the north, ye lords of earth, and Kitty lights a flame. Weave it well, weave it higher, weave it now of shining flame. None shall come to hurt or maim. None shall pass this fiery wall. None shall pass. No, none at all." And there's a big burst of flame that happens to be in the middle of the table because the spell backfires. Your spell also backfires. And suddenly you see Dan move faster than you've ever seen him move before. And you see him say, "I banish you 3. I banish you thrice. I banish you for a season of nights. You broke the vow. You broke our way. I tell you now, be on your way. And the witches are each picked up by wind and blown out the front door. KB, where are you?
What is happening?
Wearing only pants.
Okay. So you got your pants. Did you put them on?
Yep.
Okay. So as you come around the corner, you see 3 old ladies get thrown out the front door of the bar.
Rowdy establishment, huh?
And the fire immediately goes out, and none of you guys take damage. However, Dan, your chair sinks into the floor.
I beg your pardon?
Your chair sinks into the floor.
I'll stand up.
Damn it, Dan! What are you
You
doing?
can't stand up. The floor is going away from beneath you. Roll an athletics check at a disadvantage.
I reached to grab Dan.
John, Dan is the bartender in this case.
Yeah, John.
Oh, dang it. Sorry. That's confusing me.
Nope, it's because of the disadvantage, it's a fail.
Okay.
14, just barely.
So you and the chair sink into the floor.
I
What are you doing,
couldn't-
Alvin?
I'm trying to grab him before he sinks
Okay.
into the.
You are.
Can I
Where
run
are you?
around and try and grab him too?
Well, let's see. John is at the far end of the table from Diana.
I thought I was.
No,
The
John is on an empty side of the table right now because there's no Jacob, there's no Kitty. You were pretty close to him. I'll give you a single roll.
I was one witch away from him.
Yeah, I'll give you a single roll.
Okay.
Athletics.
And it's a athletics check. All right. No whammies. No whammies. Bucks. I rolled a 20.
Ah,
Okay, so Alvin, you fall out of your chair and you push John through the floor. And then the floor
You do
seals
what?
up.
What?
Diane is having a great time, dinner and a show and great beer. Oh my god. Do it again. That was a great trick.
And the only thing that's left are a couple of ends of the chair legs sticking out of the floor. And Alvin on the floor.
Gang. Do it again. Encore.
no, he's
Bravo.
gone. Dan, what happened to our friend?
He did.
I'm asking the
I was
bartender.
not responsible for that.
What?
Was there magic being cast?
I don't know. There's a lot of fire. Is there a basement? Is there a downstairs?
No, there is not here.
I don't know what to do. Can I knock on the floor where he fell down through?
Yep.
See if he knocks back. I don't know what to do. Is there any response from him?
There is no response.
Where did he go?
What do we do, guys?
I don't know.
Why'd you push him?
What?
I tripped. I didn't mean to push you.
You did it on purpose. You were always mean towards him, and now look what you did.
It was an accident. I
I
didn't mean to do it.
don't know what to do, you guys.
I imagine Ryder sitting right above this part of the floor and saying that exact, kind of laughing, kind of
So
crying.
Dan, the bartender, is going to wander over behind the bar, and he comes out with a hacksaw, and he comes back to this part of the floor, and he starts cutting the chair parts at floor level off. Takes him a couple of minutes.
Okay, so the thing that like consumed him or like swallowed him down, like was it like the black ooze portal that he's created before?
Well, the only one that could have seen that would have been Alvin, and Alvin was blocked from seeing it because of the witch in the way. But as Alvin pushed through the rest, yes, it was sort of black and oozy, but it wasn't the same. It was more like the floor suddenly became insubstantial and shadowy.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
Do me a favor, Alvin. I need you to roll an education check.
Okay.
This is a memory thing.
I got a 10 and my education is a 10.
Okay, so you seem to remember, and your memory blocked it out. So you were having to really rethink all the steps that happened. You saw tentacles rise from the floor and suck him back down. Just as like you were, and the things that you were pushing on was not the floor, it was not shadow, it was some form of tentacled being.
Guys, I think something took him down. Something
You did.
Something with tentacles.
Where did he go?
He went into the floor.
Right. Obviously, he's not in the floor. He's somewhere else, right?
Something pulled him down. It was like when we fought the ogres and those things came up and dragged the ogre back down, and then he grabbed.
Oh shit! Maybe he knows where my other phone is.
That is not important right now, Brooke. We have an old man missing. Some tentacles reached up and grabbed him.
I'm sure
Hey,
this is how
Jacob.
we would have wanted it, you know?
Jacob, what are you doing outside? Oh.
I mean, I'm probably gonna. Like I said, I made a comment to the witches. Did they say anything? What did they do?
Are you wearing a shirt or just pants?
I mean, I'm trying to casually walk over to the rest of my belongings. So I'm dressed, but I imagine like they blew out as I'm approaching. So
they are trying very hard to pick themselves up from the floor. Rachel is having a really hard time. She's 85. The other two less so, but still hard. And yeah, they're dusting themselves off.
Having a hard time getting up.
Yeah.
I would
Rachel
like
is.
to walk over to her and extend my hand to help her up.
Okay. She doesn't even look.
But at the same time, when we make contact, I want to do the flash of insight.
Oh, you're sneaky. So she doesn't even look. She just takes your hand like it's offered, so she takes it. So go ahead and roll.
That's against awareness too, right?
Yes.
Yep, a 2 and a 9.
How many points did you put in?
2.
Okay. Hang on. I believe we've driven some people insane. All right, you see has Jacob ever been to Utah?
I mean, is it Utah? I don't know geographically. Is it south or is it west of where we're at?
South.
South? Yeah, probably.
No, Utah is west of Wyoming.
Yes and
then
no.
no.
It is south and west.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
if it makes sense, because like I'm coming from the East Coast, you know, so I don't think it would make sense for me.
I
to,
don't
like,
think he would have been there. All right, you see
I
some
found
really
some pictures.
you see some really big churches with spires and a group of 13 robed individuals speaking with Rachel.
Okay. What are they saying?
You can't hear. It's
Okay.
just a glimpse. And then it goes away.
So one more time, what did I see?
You saw Rachel speaking with a bunch of robed individuals, 13 to be exact, standing in the square of a large temple organization, or a temple building.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, then I'll just continue to help her up then, and just try to play it off like nothing happened.
Okay. By the way, it's cold. So you might want to find more clothes.
Yeah, no, at that point, after I help her up, I'd like to go over to the laundry bag that I can now pick up, being that I'm a human.
Yeah.
And drag through the porch of the bar and put shoes on and a shirt and all that.
Beautiful. Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Still trying to figure out where he went.
Can I one of my potions is the Dio can you hear Dio can you hear me thing, and it's makes it so I can speak to another target. Like there's back and forth comms. Can I
Do me a favor and roll an awareness check.
okay. No.
Okay.
1 over.
Okay. Alvin, roll an awareness check. Brooke, roll an awareness check. Okay.
Unawares.
He's still shocked that he just killed a man.
I did.
Hey, Vikki, you can roll an awareness check at a disadvantage again.
Okay. That is a pass with a 5.
Okay. So you see that John left his walking stick on the table.
I'm not touching.
I pick it up.
Okay, you now have a stick. Congratulations. It's a big stick.
Yes. Awesome. I'm going to speak very loudly while carrying it.
Nice. It's also works as a battery, so you have a new magic item.
Oh snap. Okay. Well.
Hey, Kay.
That's a stick.
I'm now hitting the floor with the stick to see if there's any like trap doors. I'm still trying to figure out this trick.
Okay. I like it. So, who are you touching with your potion, Ryder?
Well, if it was the ooze that took him down, or like the tentacles, and I know that I still have the scar from when I had gotten touched by somebody who had touched the void, I'm wondering if there's any remnants still up. Like if it's possible, my attempt is to try and touch the void through my scar to try and find him in the void. I guess, if that makes sense, if that's possible.
Yeah, it does. You're pretty sure that there's no void left, or they wouldn't have let you out of isolation.
That's fair. Shit. Can I touch his walking stick, maybe, to see if there's remnants of him there somehow?
Sure. Although it's currently being thumped around by Diana on the floor, so it's kind of a bit of a catch if catch can kind of thing here.
Okay. Diana, just stop for 1 second. Let me see this. I'm gonna try and take it away from her.
Yeah, Ryder, sure. Here.
Okay.
I don't think I'm starting to think it wasn't a trick.
It really hasn't. I really think you need to finish your pie and stop drinking at the moment because we need you.
Okay, that sounds.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna
At the
try
mention
and
of drinking, Dan pipes up from the bar. Anybody need a refill? Mm.
No, some tentacles came up and absorbed our friend. Like, why are you not more concerned about this?
Ryder,
What tentacles?
Tentacles that took him down. That's what Alvin said. Alvin said that there were tentacles. Wait,
There was
did
a
Alvin?
big burst of fire. That was what we dealt with. That was why the witches are now banned from my establishment for a month.
Maybe the witches did this. We should go talk to them. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do anymore.
Yeah, where did they go?
I don't know.
You were going outside, right?
They were booted out.
So let's go find these damn witches.
I don't know what to do.
You're right, Brooke. Let's go find the witches.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a way to, I don't know, talk to him or open up a pathway.
Can I try and talk to the
Hey,
staff?
Brooke, you can always look for ghosts outside. Nice.
It's a I'm trying to find out something like it opens up a path, a tarot card, and maybe I can use that to
World?
Are you casting it in here?
scuba dive into the hole.
Hermit, the magician.
Because I'm not ready for him to go yet.
Okay.
She's looking for one in particular.
So you're gonna charge your spell with your card and cast it in the place that just kicked out a bunch of witches for casting a spell?
You're right. Well, because I guess I can't. Well, because that wouldn't work, obviously, right?
If things are reinforced the way that they've already been reinforced in this bar, the odds are not in your favor, and you may get kicked out just like the witches did.
Do it anyway. We have to try and save him. I'll distract him. I'll go over and try and talk to Dan.
Okay, you know what? I'll try it.
All right. How many points are you putting in?
This would be craft symbols.
Yep. So education.
Yep. I'm gonna do 8
You can do 6.
or 6. Yeah, I'll do 6.
Okay. So it'll take you a few seconds. It will take you 18 seconds to do that. So by the time that Ryder wanders over to the bar to talk to Dan, your spell will be cast.
Okay.
So roll to see how it is.
Since I don't know it, but I have craft symbols, it's just a single die.
Yeah, you have symbology too, right? So
Yeah, I have symbology and craft symbols. Would that still give me the advantage?
1 die.
Okay.
It's an unknown spell that you haven't cast before. One die.
Okay. An 8. So I made it. Education. Yep.
6 points.
6 points. Yeah.
Okay, so you see, you were directing it towards the place where John went through the floor.
Yeah, on the floor itself. Yeah. Using the tarot card.
So your card bursts into flame, and the floor briefly opens and then slams shut with the sound of a really, really big door. And then Dan goes through the same thing. I banish you. I banish you again. I banish you for a season of nights. Blah, 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 blah. And you are literally picked up in a whirlwind of wind and spit out the front door. So Jacob, you have a new pile outside the door. It happens to be Brooke.
Rough night?
Oh,
Rough day?
one could say.
So Ryder, you turned around just in time to see Brooke get thrown out of the bar.
Oh. Okay, Dan, why is it you can notice her magic and the witch's magic, but you couldn't notice the void tentacle magic? Like, our
I didn't.
friend is
I didn't.
the
See,
same.
I didn't see any tentacles.
I
But-
want to head outside to check on Brooke and the witches.
Okay,
Oh,
Diana?
Dad.
Diana, what are you doing?
I am. I'm very entertained by all of the people flying out the door. That's pretty cool. I think that everyone is right though, and I need to be sober. So I'm gonna step outside, and I'm gonna slap on one of my Tiger of the Tank tattoos.
Okay, so that accelerates your metabolism a bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Just
Okay.
Gets over quick.
How many points are you putting in?
I'll do one. One should suffice, right?
Yeah. So roll the casks.
Okay. Let's see.
I think in symbology, so it'd be education.
Education.
Actually, no,
so-
it's your art, isn't it? So it'd be accuracy.
Accuracy?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Give me 1 second. I rolled a 19 and an 11. Accuracy is 13. We're 5.
Okay. So once you're outside, it kicks in, and you start feeling the effects of the alcohol wear off a little faster.
Okay. So John is missing. Okay, got. I just start slapping my face, trying to wake myself up a little quicker. Like, okay, got this.
What?
That's a lot of clubs. 3 clubs. You've been beaten by it. All right, Ryder,
Why?
you may be the only member left inside the bar.
Yep.
Alvin was heading out to check on everybody who got kicked out.
Yep. Okay. You listen here, Mr. Big Old Man Dan. I don't know what game you're playing at, but your floor swallowed my friend, and I'm gonna get down to the bottom of it, and I'm gonna stomp out like slamming John's walking stick with each step as I go out.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
This stick is heavy. We need to find John. I don't know what to do.
I think we broke Shannon.
Vortex.
I think so.
All right.
Ryder,
So
Ryder,
I think
Ryder,
we can probably leave it there because everybody is now outside the bar. And I think we should all say goodbye to Dan in kind of the afterword to this.
Hey, Dan. Happy birthday, buddy. No, for real. It's your birthday, right? We talked about that last week. No? Did I make that up?
Yeah.
Wait, for real? It's his birthday today?
No.
I swear we
Oh.
talked about this. It was his birthday.
That might have been a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Well, happy belated birthday.
His birthday's in like December, I want to say.
I
Dan, we're
swear.
not in game anymore. Please respond.
Yep, I'm
He's still
sorry,
gone.
I was muted
Gone.
again inside over here. My birthday's in January.
January. Oh, good. So you're good. So whatever birthday talk we had, it was we should just blow it off. All right.
Sorry,
So-
I guess I dreamt that. My bad.
So Dan, I want to say thank you for the fun character arc you've been on since the very beginning, because holy shit, that's been an interesting arc. And do you want to explain anything to these poor people who have now just watched you get swallowed by the floor?
Explain? What is there to
Or do
explain?
you or do you want to leave it to the imagination for the next year plus?
I don't know what there is to explain. He didn't like them. He didn't trust them, and he wanted to find a way to. He was trying to find a way to. I could touch the shadow in there. There was like all the good magic was blocked, but shadow magic was not. And so I was able to touch it, and did not work out well for me. But
it certainly did for the shadows.
Well, yeah, they finally got theirs. I think he was doomed from the get-go, man. Like from the moment he was touched, he was cursed. He had a moment at in London where they were like, "Hey, we can free you of this," and he's like, "Oh no." Like he was given a choice, and he's like, "Oh no, nope." So I think he was doomed from the get-go.
Yeah.
And this has been. I did not think I was going to like this character. I really didn't. I really didn't want to play a priest, and he turned out to be so much fun because y'all are just amazing, and this has been just the coolest part. And thank you so much for letting me take part in it. Thank you, KB, for the invitation, and thank you, Brian, for letting me be here. Like seriously, guys, this was awesome, and it is such a pleasure to have gotten to meet all of you. And fortunately, I get to listen now, and I get to find out what happens next, and laugh at you fools. Oh my god!
That's awesome. We're gonna miss you, Dan.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't be a stranger. We're still around if you want to say hi.
Yeah.
If I can, I totally will. But my schedule is why I have to do this is because my schedule is Sunday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to midnight. So that's why I probably don't get to be here anymore ever. You know. So
the door is always open, my friend. The door is always open. So
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't know what Ryder's going to do now that she can't, haggle with the old man in every episode, but we'll see how it goes.
From here on out, Ryder is going to be, her character is just going to be like scarred.
I
She's
think
going to
so.
be like,
Yeah, that's like a defining moment in her life.
yeah, she's no longer going to be her upbeat self.
If I'm allowed to keep a hold of the staff, yeah, I might make a fake little John face on like a paper plate and just put it on the top of the staff.
I want you to look
This is how she goes crazy.
You should look at the roll of pictures that you've taken and see if any of them have John in it.
Yeah, one of the last ones that I took, he's in it.
I took 4 selfies.
It's his face doing this.
Yeah, very much do. Yeah.
I have a list of all the pictures I need to get developed, so I do have that list.
That can happen at the pharmacy, so you're good there.
Hey,
so I'll have you know that we cooked this up this week or over the weekend, and I've been waiting to spring it on you, and I don't even think Dan was ready for it. So
well played.
Well played.
My heart.
Yeah.
Really good. It was really good. It was really good. Thank you, Brian. It was awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks again for all the creativity, because it has been a playtest. We have stretched this system so much in the last 6 months. It's been nuts. So it's been fun.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, it's been awesome.